What's up, everybody? Matt Kajeski here, back again with the Stokastic channel, talking some preseason NFL DFS. It is Saturday. We have two slates, and we will be focusing on the main slate, going position by position. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. We are also brought to you today by PrizePicks, and if you've never heard of PrizePicks, they have an awesome offer for you guys. What they are, a daily prop-based site. There's no sharks, no optimizers, no mass entries. You can create 5-player lineups and net up to 10 extra entry fee in those lineups. And you can use cross-sport lineups where you can use your knowledge across the various sports that you might be interested in. If you use the promo code AWESEMO, you get up to $100 in a first match deposit bonus. Again, that is promo code AWESEMO. All right, let's dive into this. It is preseason time. We are back again. And there's a 3-game slate kicking off at noon Central Time, 1 Eastern Time. And there's a lot to dive into. There's 3 games. So we'll go position by position here, giving you the top plays. At quarterback, the place I want to start is Buffalo. Josh Allen is not playing in this game. So we have just 2 signal callers here, Case Keenum and Matt Barkley. Case Keenum's the presumed starter in this game and the presumed backup in the regular season, which means Matt Barkley should take about a half a football, if not a little bit more here. Now, Matt Barkley, he's never been the most productive signal caller, but again, preseason DFS, we're focused on playing time more than anything else. And Matt Barkley has been a staple of the preseason through previous years. He completed about 61.5% of his passes for nearly 300 yards and 3 touchdowns with Tennessee previously in the preseason. So Barkley has played well in these positions before. At the running back position, there's a couple spots that are pretty narrow, and one I want to go to is Chicago. We'll talk about a few of them here. With the Bears, we're not expecting to see David Montgomery. Khalil Herbert's now locked in as the backup. And then the Bears are carrying a fullback in Kari Blasingame. That leaves just Tristan Ebner, Darrington Evans, and Demontre Tuggle to handle most of the work here. I think all of them probably get a good look. Tuggle is the only player that really has like a 3-down skill set. Evans and Ebner are a little bit smaller. They're good pass catchers. I'm looking at Evans here. I don't think he makes the roster. I think he's on the outside looking in, which could give him extra time in the second half. Another backfield that is pretty narrow today could be the Buffalo Bills again. You have Devin Singletary and James Cook and Zach Moss pretty much locked into this backfield. Duke Johnson and Raheem Blackshear also here. Tywan Jones also there, but he's a special teamer. He doesn't play. So looking at this backfield, I think Duke Johnson could be a solid play in the preseason. A guy who's bounced around the league a lot. He's a veteran, but he's battling to make a roster spot, and we know he can play on all 3 downs. I don't think we see a ton of the starters. And again, Josh Allen's not going to play in this game. So how much do they really want James Cook, Devin Singletary out there, players that are actually going to play meaningful snaps for this team in the regular season? I'm looking at Duke Johnson. In the wide receiver room, there's a couple spots I think we can look at, and we have to go right back to Chicago again. You'll notice a theme. They're the narrowest team today. We're not going to see Byron Pringle, N'Keal Harry, Velus Jones, or David Moore. Darnell Mooney and Equinemius St. Brown probably aren't going to play a ton because they're locked in starters. Isaiah Coulter, a kid out of Rhode Island, coming out of the 2021 class. He's a guy that's received a lot of hype during camp, and he should get a lot of run today. With all the injuries, including N'Keal Harry and Velus Jones, Coulter's a candidate to make this roster, and he's been playing really well. So I think he's somebody you should look to. And then again, Buffalo is very narrow as well. They don't have Tavon Austin or Marquez Stevenson. We're not expecting a ton of Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Jameson Crowder, or Isaiah McKenzie. The latter 2 have been banged up. That should give plenty of snaps to Khalil Shakir, Jake Kumaro, and Isaiah Hodgins is a really interesting name, someone I want to highlight. He's making a push to actually make this roster. He previously played for Oregon State and is now potentially playing himself into a roster spot if he can beat out a guy like Kumaro. Again, Marquez Stevenson's injury, who's more of a kick returner, special teamer, opens a roster spot for one of these players. So I'm looking at Isaiah Hodgins. To close this out at tight end, we have 2 teams with just 3 active players. One's the Chicago Bears, where you have Ryson John, Jake Tongs, and Jake Allen. Jake Tongs is a receiving tight end out of Cal, so he is somebody I have my eye on. And then for Carolina, a team we haven't talked about, we're not going to see Ian Thomas, Colin Thompson, or Josh Babitz. That means Tommy Tremble, Steven Sullivan, and Jared Scott are going to handle most of the duties here. Tommy Tremble was kind of a developmental tight end coming out of Notre Dame, and I think he gets a good amount of run here. But if you want to pivot and move to a Steven Sullivan, who is a receiving tight end himself, those are 2 very good options on today's slate. As normal, defense, vary your exposure. It's the most volatile position in all of DFS. But let me know in the comment section who you were looking at for preseason DFS today, Saturday, August the 13th. I'm Matt Gajewski on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again next time.